Sometimes the hardest thing you'll ever do is stop trying to convince someone to stay. Not because you stopped loving them, but because deep down, you know you're starting to lose yourself in the process. A lot of people never talk about what heartbreak really does to you. They talk about the sadness, the loneliness, the memories, but they don't talk about the damage that happens quietly. The overthinking, the checking your phone every 5 minutes, the replaying conversations in your head at 2 a.m. The feeling that maybe if you had just said one thing differently, they would have stayed. And that's the dangerous part, because eventually you stop grieving the relationship and start questioning your own worth. You start asking yourself if you were enough, attractive enough, successful enough, interesting enough, lovable enough. But sometimes people leave not because you were worthless, but because they were never meant to stay forever. And accepting that takes maturity, real maturity, because most people don't know how to let go. They know how to chase. They know how to beg. They know how to hold on to someone long after the relationship is already emotionally ended. But letting go, that requires strength, especially when your ego is hurt, especially when you imagined a future with them, especially when part of you still hopes they'll come back. But there comes a point where constantly chasing someone starts becoming disrespectful to yourself. You start abandoning your routines, your goals, your peace, your confidence, all because you're trying to hold on to a person who already made their decision. And the truth is, no relationship is worth losing your identity over. Read that again. No relationship is worth becoming emotionally dependent on someone who is unsure about you. Because love should never feel like begging for basic effort. It should never feel like you constantly have to prove why you deserve to be chosen. That kind of love slowly destroys people from the inside. And a lot of young men especially struggle with this because nobody teaches them how to process rejection properly. So instead, they turn pain into obsession. They stalk social media, compare themselves to the next person, try to become successful only to prove something, pretend they're okay while secretly falling apart internally. But healing doesn't happen through pretending. It happens when you finally stop running from the truth. And the truth is, some people are only meant to teach you a lesson, not stay in your life forever. Some people teach you what emotional neglect feels like. Some teach you how attached you became. Some reveal how much validation you were seeking from others because you hadn't built enough within yourself yet. And as painful as that realization is, it can completely transform you if you let it. Because heartbreak has a strange way of exposing the areas of your life you've been avoiding.
Your lack of discipline, your lack of purpose, your emotional dependence, your fear of being alone. And maybe that's why some people grow the most after losing someone. Not because pain is beautiful, but because pain forces honesty. It forces you to sit alone with yourself without distractions, without the relationship, without the constant attention, without the illusion that another person was going to fix everything you felt inside. And in that silence, you finally meet yourself. The version of you that got neglected while you were too busy trying to save somebody else. That's where real growth starts. Not in revenge, not in becoming cold, not in pretending you never cared. Real growth is being able to say, yeah, that hurt me deeply, but I'm still going to move forward with my life. That's power. The strongest people are not the ones who never get hurt. They're the ones who refuse to let pain turn them bitter. So if somebody wants to leave, let them leave. Not because you never cared, not because you're emotionless, but because you finally understand that your life cannot stop every time somebody walks away. You still have goals. You still have responsibilities. You still have a future that needs your attention. And honestly, some of the best things that will ever happen to you begin the moment you stop forcing what no longer fits your life. Because the energy you waste chasing unavailable people could be used building yourself. Building your body, your mindset, your future, your confidence, your peace.
And one day you'll look back and realize something powerful. The person leaving was not the moment your life ended. It was the moment your life forced you to finally focus on yourself. That's why healing is not about forgetting someone overnight. It's about slowly reconnecting with the parts of yourself you abandoned while trying to keep them. Your discipline, your standards, your self-respect, your direction, and over time, you stop needing closure from them because your growth becomes the closure. You wake up calmer, you think clearer, you stop checking your phone hoping for a message. You stop romanticizing people who were inconsistent with you. And eventually, your self-respect becomes stronger than your attachment. That's when your life starts changing. Because the moment you realize your value does not decrease because someone failed to see it, you stop chasing validation and start building a life that speaks for itself. So, if someone is choosing to walk away from your life right now, don't lose yourself trying to stop them. Let them leave. And use that pain to become someone you're proud to live with every single day.